Example 7 says that if the tangent of theta is negative 0.28, find the value of these different things. So we want to sit and think, okay, well, we know that tangent is negative 0.28. So it asks us, okay, well, what's the tangent of pi minus theta? Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, what does that actually mean? So let's draw just some random angle. I'll draw it in the first quadrant. Normally makes it the easiest to figure out. So we're going to call this theta. Now this wouldn't actually work because tangent would be positive over here, but it'll work for our illustrations. All right. So if we were to say, okay, well, what if we take pi and subtract that angle? What if we go backwards with it? Well, what does that look like? So going back theta looks like that. Well, what does that mean for our angle? If we start at pi and go backwards, right, instead of counting forward, what would happen to our tangent? That's going to give us the opposite value, it looks like, right? Because, tangent again being y over x and tangent really referencing our slope, it's going to be the opposite, right? So this value here is actually the same thing as positive 0.28, right? I just know, because I know what's happening with theta, I know that this is going to happen as well. So this is a way that we can kind of think about our rules if we want to think, okay, well, how does this relate to 180 or 0 or 360 or 90? We can kind of figure this out visually, which is very, very helpful. Let's see. So our second one says, what about pi plus theta? Well, okay, so I've got theta here. This is theta. And again, this is pi. Well, what if I add theta now? Wait a second. It looks like it's on the same line. Now, think about tangent. Tangent is the slope of a line. These are on the same line. This right here, when we talk about the tangent of pi plus theta, it's the same thing. It's negative 2.8 or 0.28. Now, again, my illustration kind of makes this a little confusing because both of these blue lines have a positive tangent, but regardless, it's going to work out very well if we think visually. They're going to have the same value because tangent is all about slope and it's all about, its y and x involvements. So now let's look and say, okay, well, for C, tangent is 2 pi minus theta. Well, what does that do? So if we think, okay, well, here's my theta. Well, if I take 2 pi, which is the same as 360, and I take away theta, what's happening to my tangent value? Well, you can kind of see that, again, they're slopes. They're exact opposites of each other. So this is actually a positive 0.28 as well. So what you want to think visually. What is happening? Which quadrant is this going to? Where's my reference angle? And we can kind of figure out, how do these things relate to each other? Because there's a pattern throughout all of trigonometry. And when you figure out the pattern, all the work becomes a lot simpler.